Hi, this is Ron from my backyard, and today I'm going to be showing you how to break down a couple of large cuts of meat that are available at like Costco, or my area we use a cash and carry store. And this is a good way to save a couple bucks a pound on the stuff you normally buy at home. So we'll get started on that. So for today, I'm going to be showing you what I do with a whole ribeye. And also, this is a boneless ribeye, USDA choice. And also, I've got a boneless pork loin. So, two cuts that I do at home all the time in bulk. The boneless pork loin, that's probably about the best buy on the market out there. This is what your boneless chops would be. And this is between $1.75 and $1.99 a pound. So this piece of meat here, I've got my notepad out here. I looked at it. It's 8.8 pounds there. So less than $16 worth of meat there, and that's a lot of meals on it. So, and my ribeye was 18 pounds exactly. I've written those weights down, and I'm going to use them so when I'm done trimming I can show you what waste is and what loss is. So we'll get started. We'll do the ribeye first. So no matter what I'm doing with the whole ribeye, one of the first things I want to do is start trimming some of the fat off. And the front part of this is what they call a lip, so I'll just take the whole lip off of it. You'll notice that's mostly good hard fat and very little meat in there. So then I look for any other real loose slimy fat on that. I don't see much. So now I'm just going to go ahead and trim this fat cap down a little bit. This is more on the lip area, so I probably could have got a little deeper there. If I was going to be dry aging this, I would not do any of this trimming. I want as much fat on it as I can get. So, got the lip off of there, still got a little bit here. If I'm making this strictly into roasts, I would take this big section here and really not do much trimming on it. I don't have a very thick fat cap, so if I want to do a little roast, I just take it and just cut it off like that. And if we look at the end, you can see this is USDA choice. You can see pretty good marbling in the meat. And before I buy these, I look at them as much as I can on one end of the bag, and that tells me how good of a chunk I'm getting. So this is a pretty decent looking little piece. I could take a little bit of that fat off of there, but that's about it. So this piece here, that's it. I can truss it up and freeze it, and I've got a nice little, probably 4-pound rib roast there. So now, if you're doing ribeye steaks out of it, I like trimming them a little bit finer, getting rid of a little bit more fat off of them. You'll notice that some of the pieces go into the garbage can, and some of them I'm putting over here. The stuff that's over here I use in making burger and things like that. So that's pretty well trimmed up. So if I'm doing steaks off of that, I kind of got an angle here on one end that I'll probably just straighten it out so things look pretty. But that's still a nice steak. And then however thick and however big you want them. So that's ribeye steaks. That probably cost you $2 to $3 a pound more in the store to get them in a package like this than what I pay for this cut. And as you see me use the rest of that stuff, you'll see that there's darn little waste involved here. So that's the basics of trimming a ribeye. I'm going to do something else with this piece of meat that's going to be subject of another video, so I'm just going to set it off to the side for now. So the next one's just boneless pork loin. So this is a lot like the beef loin. I'll take off a little bit of the fat. Some thicker connective tissue down here that I'll just take off. And it's a little chilly out here this morning, like 28 degrees or something. So at this point, I'm going to take like a 5-minute break and warm up my hands. Okay, got the hands a little warmed up now. Make a little room for some other stuff here. So we're going to finish trimming off this, and I'm going to make a roast out of this end. Save that fat.
What's the difference between the pieces you keep and the pieces you throw away as far as the fat or the trimmings?
The pieces I throw away are a lot of membrane and kind of slimy. You know, like this piece of fat here is good and firm. I've got enough pork fat. I don't use that much of it, so. Nice quick wipe down here and get it once or twice. Much better. So now on this piece, I got a little more junk here I'm going to get rid of. So on this piece, I'm just going to slice it into boneless pork chops. Alright, so there's my boneless pork chops. You can pack them up and vac pack them into however big a package as you want. So me, I cut them pretty thick. I like a nice thick cut pork chop. So that's all there is to it. We'll finish off this roast here. I just cotton butcher's twine here. I should probably patent my high dollar dispenser here, but you know, more than enough. Now I could do these as a roast, just in individual pieces like this. That could be a roast, but a lot of times what they'll do is just take like I've got here, add a little bit more fat to the top of it, because we always want the fat side up when we're doing a roast. Make my fit a little leaner. Baby pork chop. So when I'm doing this, if you use what they call a surgeon's knot, just like an overhand knot, except you go around 3 times. And when you do it that way, it don't need somebody to hold their finger on things for you. So I've got it all trussed up now. We'll just trim off the edges. Excuse me, the strings. That's it. That makes a nice little pork roast. It'll stick together and cook really well. So now we're gonna see how much out of that 8.8 pounds of pork we got yielded meat we can eat. So zero out my scale here. So we've got a roast. Now, if I was going to be making some sausage and had more of it than this piece here, I could use in my sausage making or whatever. It's a really small scrap, so for this exercise, I'm just going to throw it away. So on my scale here, I have 8 pounds, 2.4 ounces. I lost less than 6 ounces of waste in doing a pork roast like this. So pretty good deal. considering it costs you a couple dollars a pound more if you buy it in the store pre-cut like that. So, good deal. Now we'll go see what the ribeye looks like now. The ribeye I'm going to weigh up a little different manner because I got my meat here and I've got my trim here. So normally I end up with, when I do this, I end up with about 3 or 3.5 pounds of trim comes off of a prime rib. So oh, that's only 2.14 pounds on that one, a little smaller than most of them I use. But while you're not eating this directly, this is not waste. This is great added fat when I'm making burger or another product. So I'll save that. I'll vacuum pack it and write the weight of it on it. So when I'm doing, go through the freezer, I know how much meat I gotta buy. So that's about it for breaking down some basic bulk cuts and saving yourself a couple dollars a pound. So hope it was helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.